Okay, Vicky B. Oh, I'm pissed. That is how much product is in there, and it just popped out. Now, can I place this back in? Yes. Will it go back in? Absolutely. For that price, that should not happen. Math has never been my strong suit. My late parents would tell you that they spent so much money tutoring and sending me to summer programs to try to get better at math. And it's just never taken. And, I've gone through life okay without it, but recently something occurred that made me go, is that too much? Are they charging too much? And what I'm referring to is the new Victoria Beckham Blush Stylus. Now, you might think you've seen these before, but you haven't. What you've seen is the Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus, which is a nice product. But now she's introduced the Victoria Beckham Blush Stylus. Now, I'm sure, like all Victoria Beckham products, that these are going to be beautiful when I try them on. My concern, and again, not great at math, so I have my trusty cell phone here, and we can do some algebra, is the price of these. I'm sure you already know. These little fuckers are $40 for 1 ounce of product. The same as the Contour Stylus. These are $40 for 1 ounce of product. The difference is, with a Contour Stylus, I like these because you can chisel, you can get really in fine spots, and they're great for like eye and nose contour. With a blush, you use so much more product that I'm beginning to wonder, is something like this even needed? Who's asking for this? So today, we're going to do a whole face of Victoria Beckham Beauty, and I'm going to tell you what I think is worth it and what I think you can skip. And then we're going to focus in on the new Victoria Beckham Blush Stylus. So if that sounds good to you, then please consider liking, subscribing, following along, and shopping my links. I have a Victoria Beckham link that won't cost you anything, but it can really help out the channel. And Victoria Beckham is good about doing like 20, 25, even 30% off sales throughout the year. So that might be a good time to pick up your blush stylus. So Victoria Beckham had a blush that I really love. These are the Victoria Beckham Cheeky Posh blushes, and they're often sold out. So I thought, well, particular colors, mini skirt, playground, they're often sold out. And so I went to look on the website today for these while I was looking at the Blush Stylus, and these are gone. They are no longer on the website, which makes me really sad because I loved this product. It's one of my favorite stick blushes. Really beautiful, really pigmented, kind of a natural finish. These were $42. 40. 5 grams of product, 1 gram of product. So although these were expensive, you were getting 5 times the amount of product you're getting in this. I wanted to pull some comparisons today just to see how they kind of stack up. So forgive me as I pull up my little phone. The Victoria Beckham Cheeky Posh, which are, I guess, discontinued, although you can find some of them on like Nordstrom or Violet Grey. These are $42 for 5 grams. Okay, let's see some other popular ones. We have from Dior, the ones that smell like cotton candy. Now, let's see. These are the Dior Rosy Go Blush Sticks. And these come in 11 colors, and they are $44. So they're a little bit more. However, you are getting 6 grams of product. 1 gram of product. Then I pulled, let's see, Pat McGrath. She's got a nice blush stick. It's, you know, not one of my all-time favorites, but it's a nice product. The packaging's not as nice, but does it matter when you're just throwing it on your face? These are $29 for 7 grams of product. Beautiful color range. Then we have, let's see. Well, let's go to the Big Daddy. So whenever people think expensive, they think Chanel. So let me pull up the Chanel Le Beige Blush Sticks. And these pricey boogers are 42. No, that's not, I'm not going to lie. Go back. The Chanel blush sticks, well, the new Chanel blush sticks that have the blush on one side and the highlighter on the other are $68. These are $49. But you're getting, does that say 8? That can't be right. It's either 6 or 8 grams of product. These are good value if that's the case. 0.28 ounces. I'm not sure how that translates, but I think it's 6 grams of product. So that's a good value in comparison. Then we have the new Marc Jacobs. What are these called? Oh God. Let's see. Which I liked these. They're not my favorite thing from the collection, but they're certainly not bad. Let's see, Marc Jacobs blush, and these run $35. Buildable formula, and you're looking at 6 grams of product. Chunky container, but 6 grams of product for $35. 1 gram for $40. Finally, kind of my newest entry in this that I really, really like, and I slept on these because I thought they didn't look like anything new or interesting, but actually I really like them, and they're some of my favorites, are the Lisa Eldridge sticks. And let's see, these are new. Let's see, what do they call these? Come on, Lisa. I find her website to be a little challenging to use sometimes. The Valatura Balm Dewy Lip and Cheek Stick. These are $36, and you get 4.9 grams of product. $40, 1 gram of product. So this is by far the most expensive blush, at least that I have on the market. And I would venture to say more than Sisley, more than, other super high-end brands. I mean, when Chanel is a good value in comparison, when Victoria Beckham's liquid blushes are a good comparison, price-wise, that these are crazy. And I loved the original. I have 3 shades. I think they had 6. I had Playground Mini Skirt and Knickers. And these are really great. And so I'm interested to see how these new ones perform. But that's enough about that. I've gone on my rant about pricing. Again, I may put these on and I only need like the tiniest little amount, and maybe it makes it all worth it because they're really beautiful. So, or just a formula I've never seen before. So, like I said, I love most Victoria Beckham products. So I'm going to start with the Victoria Beckham Brow Pencil. And this is Baby Blade. And I have mine in light brown. This is not my favorite Victoria Beckham product. It's perfectly fine. And I do like to pick them up when there's like a sale. She does do some pretty good sales. And then if you want, you can also use like a Nordstrom or a Bergdorf Goodman type sale when they do their 15% off sales. But I just find that this is a nice product, but I think the Benefit one I like even more. But this works. Okay. Now let's put on a primer. So I have the Victoria Beckham by Stylus the primer, and it's the illuminating primer, and I have mine in the shade Rose. These come in 3 shades. It's expensive, but it is a beautiful primer. So I'm going to put a little of that on. And this can actually be used on top of foundation. It can be mixed in with foundation. But it is a beautiful product. Or it can be used like I'm using it here as a primer, and then it kind of comes through the foundation. And it leaves a really nice, slightly tacky, but it's mostly about illumination. So that's why I like it. Now last year, she came out with her foundation drops, and people complained about these being $100. For the record, that's $100 for, what is this, an ounce product? $40 for 1 gram. That's more than weed. Okay. So I love this product. And I think it's really beautiful. And it's one of the ones that I will defend the price because I think it is really gorgeous. And it doesn't take a ton of product. It's a cross between a foundation and a skin tint. So it's a little bit thicker than like a Lisa Eldridge skin tint, but you can only really build it up to, I'd say, like a medium, light medium coverage. You're not going to get much more than light medium, but it really was last year. This and the Chantecaille are my favorite foundations of that kind. And it is a beautiful product. It's got a lot of skincare benefits in it. And I don't see anything on the blush that shows any kind of skincare benefits. So, at least with this, you could say, well, the skincare is what's making it expensive. But you can see how beautifully it just goes on. And it's a really natural finish. And I love it. Love that product. And I don't bitch at $108 because I don't pay $108. I wait until she does her 30% off sale around the holidays, and then I pick up an extra one. So I have an extra one for when this one runs out. But it's such a beautiful finish. Someone's honking. This morning. Now I'm filming this on Tuesday. It'll probably go up on Wednesday or Thursday. This morning there was a woman standing out in front of my building. I believe she might have been on meth, and she had a wig. I can put the picture in. She had a wig that she had put over a street sign, and she lit it on fire, and she was singing the national anthem to it. Now, it is election day for the primaries, but that was a really interesting 911 call to make because I was afraid if the wig dropped, then, the ground around my building would catch on fire. This is the accompanying Victoria Beckham concealer. Really love it. Reminds me of the Chantecaille pen concealer. Reminds me of the YSL Touche Éclat. A really beautiful, light coverage, no makeup concealer. really beautiful. I think it's $68. Expensive. Blush. Okay. So anyway, I called the police, and, you know, to have to tell them that there's somebody out there singing the national anthem while lighting a wig on fire, while also she appeared to be screaming. I don't believe that she was all there. But it was an interesting way to wake up and get ready to go down to work. I just sent a picture to my boss just to confirm what was going on. Okay, so we're set. Now, Victoria Beckham, to my knowledge, does not have a powder, like a setting powder. I don't think she does. But that's okay, because I'm not going to set it today anyway, because I want to see how these look on just, you know, the base. But typically I would use, you know, like a La Prairie powder, which, again, seems like a value compared to this. Okay, so we've got our base down. Now, I like these Victoria Beckham contour styluses, but I don't use them to contour much. I use them for my nose, for my eyes, and then I go to like my Westman Atelier for the parameters of my face. Why? Because these are $40, and you would fly through them if you used it that much. But I do really like them for what she said was her intended purpose, which was to kind of detail and really get, you know, a detailed contour. And you can, in a pinch, use them, you know, and I do that sometimes, but they're just too expensive to use for that kind of purpose. But it's a beautiful formula, and they're great too if I don't have like my beard. I can use them to outline my lips a little bit and gives a little bit of shape. So, and they blend in so beautifully. I'm sure these blushes will too, but it is a beautiful contour product. Again, I wait until these are on sale to pick them up. But they give you that little bit of chisel, and I like that. But again, I tend to use like the Westman Atelier or the Dior on the larger areas of my face. But looks beautiful. Now, earlier this year, she came out, she has her liquid blushes. She came out with the bronzer version of that. I really like it. She also has one of, I think, the best powder bronzers on the market. So I'm just going to very lightly put some of that on, but I'm going to keep it low so that it's not interfering with where we're going to put the blush. Both of these products are nice. I think the powder bronzer is something that I use more because it really is a beautiful formula. Although it does sort of remind me, well, I guess this one came out first, but it sort of reminds me of the new Marc Jacobs one, which is a great compliment to the Marc Jacobs one because this is one of my favorite bronzers. And I actually think this is a pretty good value because you're getting 9.8 grams of product. Really luxurious packaging too. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do next? We'll do a quick eye look because that's something that I can quickly talk about. She has a couple of different eye products. She has these eye pens, which I really like. This is an eyeshadow stick. She has her little pots, the concentrated color. She has not come out with a new one of these in a while. I am scared they're going to discontinue these, and these are top-notch, one of the best products here. And then she's been coming out with these little palettes. I just grabbed this one in the olive shade, and I'm just going to quickly throw it on because it's not an eye look video. We're really looking at the blushes, but I'll quickly do a look with these. These are powdery and they're extremely pigmented, but they are a nice product. I'm just going to whip on the lighter brown shade here. Okay, and then let's see, let's take this dark green color here and just put a little of it on the outer edge. I don't want to get too dark here. And then there are, what is that? Kind of a satin and a metallic. I'm going to grab a little bit of the satin on my finger, which is this kind of beautiful gray-green color, and just place a little of it. And then actually what I'm going to do, because I want to show you these pots, because I swear to God, if she stops these pots, we're going to have a problem. I love them so much. But these are her concentrated pots. These are beautiful. They do not touch these. Just the amount of shine and glow you get from these. This one I just grabbed and it actually will work. This is in the shade Honey, but there's about 10 shades of these. They're just so beautiful. And so I'm just gonna place, again, we're not going for much here, because again we're going to look at the blushes. I went a little high there. That's okay. Again, we're doing what we can do. If you buy these, make sure to keep the little stoppers in them so they don't dry out. But I've had some for well over 2 years and they have not dried out. They're a beautiful, beautiful formula. Let's just soften this out a little bit. And there's actually a metallic kind of silvery gray green in here. Might be a little dark, but I'm just going to place it here as my inner corner. A little darker than I would normally use, but it's okay. Now, one area, look at that. Did I get a little fallout there? Yep. Oh, well. One area that Victoria Beckham always, her #1 product. I think I love the pots. I love the foundation. But her #1 product, without a doubt, are her liners. And I have all of them. And I think they are absolutely fantastic. For this look today, I guess I could grab the olive green, but I kind of want to lighten this look up a little bit because it ended up going a little darker than I wanted. So I'm going to grab this one called Gold Lame and just run it along the bottom here. I know that I mentioned this before, but Not Fit for Print Beauty has said that these metallic or sparkly ones, they don't recommend putting in the waterline. But I've never had an issue with that. But if you have sensitive eyes, you might want to be careful with that. They come in a variety of formulas. They have metallics, they have mattes, and they have these kind of glittery ones. But they're just so beautiful and creamy and nice, and they're like a traditional pencil too that has to be sharpened, which I really like, as opposed to kind of the more plasticky ones that you have to push down, or if you are going to sharpen them, they're going to be a pain. Like the new Marc Jacobs ones, I do like them a lot, but that's a type that you want to be careful with. And then I have the Victoria Beckham Vast Lash Mascara. It comes in a couple of different shades. This is just the black. Again, it's a really nice mascara. Not one of my all-time favorites, but certainly nice and certainly worth picking up in a sale. Or every time you order something from Victoria Beckham, they send you like a little travel one. Okay, the moment we have arrived. Now on her website, it suggests pairing her liquid blush with these new blush sticks. What is the point then? That's where I'm confused. We've already gone over the comparison of price. They are the same exact size as the contour stick Stylus, and they are the same size as the eyeshadows. $40. But for a blush, you can get away with it with the eyeshadows. You can get away with it with the contour sticks if you're using them very selective. But blush we use a lot. Now there are 5 colors. They are gorgeous colors. One thing Victoria Beckham will always get right is her colors, and they are beautiful. I picked up 2, and they're probably not going to go with this eye look today, but at least we can see the formula. Now, the original Contour Stylus is in kind of a metal, sleek, off-white package with gold lettering. This is, I think, the same package. This one might, well, I was going to say it's not. It's like a hard acrylic. It could be a metal, but it's got kind of like a soft touch feel, almost like the Marc Jacobs blushes. And I picked up 2 colors. So the 2 colors of the 5 that I picked up, $40, remember, are Fresco, which is a peach coral color. That is a beautiful color. Again, no one says it's not. And the other color I picked up, it's a bold one. Well, I've got it here, made in Italy, 24-month shelf life. So that's pretty good. I mean, if you use this as much as I use the blush, though, you're going to go through this in a week. But this is a very vibrant pink. There's also a sienna, there's kind of a burnt red, there's a rose. But I just wanted to get 2 that I thought would look really beautiful for the summer. And they do. I'm trying to see if any of the Victoria Beckham, I don't think so, any of the Posh Balms I have are similar. I think I have all kind of fall colors here. Knickers, mini skirt. Well, Knickers might be the closest. It's kind of an orange color. Actually, that's actually really close. So they're quite close. I would say that it appears that these have a little bit more emolliency. 5 grams, 1 gram. Okay. But I love those original ones. I'm very sad if they're being discontinued. But that is almost an identical match for that one. So I think what we'll do today is we'll just put 1 on each side. It's going to look crazy, but it's okay. We'll try them out. So let's go ahead and try the first one, which is Fiore. So if you're a fan of Knickers, I hate that word, from the original line, then you'll want to pick up the one called Fresco. But we're going to start with Fiore. And I guess you just kind of draw it on. That's what I saw on the website. Okay. Concerned how that's going to turn out, but you know, trust the process. Now, I did see Charlotte Holdcroft demo these, and she preferred, at least for the first pass, putting it directly on the brush. Not the back of your hand and then the brush, then you're really going to waste it. But just kind of drawing it on the brush and placing it on and then going back in and doing what I just did. She gave it more consistent. But with one pass, you can see it does give a nice color, but let's build it up. The thing is, when you start doing this, you would fly through these. The point is to have more pinpoint accuracy, or so the website says, with your blush placement, which makes sense with the contour wand. But I don't really understand why you would want pinpoint placement with blush. That is beautiful, though. It's a beautiful finish. I don't doubt that. It's just for the price. Now, the other one is Fresco, and it's the one that's very, very close to the OG Knickers. It appears to be maybe just slightly deeper. This is not, I can tell you right now, it's not a formula that I'm going to take 2 drops of it and it's going to do my whole cheek. It's just not. So I think you're going to go through it just as fast as you would something that's 5 or 6 ounces. Okay, that is a gorgeous color, though. I can't deny that. That is a beautiful color. I just don't get the concentrated pinpoint accuracy when it comes to blush. Especially when you consider that the OG ones, the Posh blushes, it's not like they're crazy wide. They're pretty narrow too. They're maybe 1.5 times the width of these. They're certainly not as wide as like the Pat McGrath or like the Lisa Eldridge. These are chunkier, or like the Rhode blushes. Let me see the Dior one. Yeah, that's chunkier. So it's not like the other ones were so thick and bulky. Like, they were very thin too. And let me see. When I blend these out, yeah, I don't know that I could tell a difference. Maybe the new one, Fresco, is a little bit more, it's got a little bit more coral. It's a little darker maybe, a little deeper, but they're very close. One thing I will say about these that I like, and she also did it with the Stylus pens, is the stickers on them match the color that's inside. So I do really like that. They are beautiful. I mean, this is the one, what's this one called? I keep messing them up. Fiore. It's that hot, hot pink one, like a fuchsia. Does not go with the look at all, but at least you can see the color. This one does. This is the Fresco. But if I really wanted this to stand out, I'd have to put on... Okay, Vicky B. Oh, I'm pissed. That is how much product is in there, and it just popped out. Now, can I place this back in? Yes. Will it go back in? Absolutely. For that price, that should not happen. But again, I would have to build this up a lot more to get a lot of color out of it. That kind of pisses me off. I might have to send her back and get another one, because that should not happen on a first time. And one thing about Victoria Beckham products, I think I had one lip gloss once where the little wand on the inside was, detached, and they sent me another one. But Victoria Beckham packaging is top notch, so that shocks me. Now, her highlighting sticks I really like, although maybe she's going to get rid of these too. This is in the shade Pearl. These are her reflex sticks, and I can tell you just by looking that you're getting more product. These are really beautiful too. In fact, one of my favorite of these kind of highlighters. Although I will say the new Lisa Eldridge Balm highlighters are fantastic if you haven't tried those yet. They came with that Marilyn Monroe collection, but you can buy them individually. That is a beautiful product. I have some lip liners, I have lip glosses, I have lip stains. I just grabbed 2 of my lipsticks from her today. I have Spark and Play. And just for reference, these, does it tell me how much are in these? No. But I would venture to say a similar amount of product. We actually know because I pulled that out. That's a similar amount of product. So you're getting about a lipstick or an eyeshadow stick's worth of product for $40. Again, beautiful product. It looks really nice. but are you going to fly through it? Yeah. Now, the only two I have are kind of cooler tones. So I'm just going to use this one called Spark. These are really nice. And she has good lip liners too. Again, I think everything in her collection, although expensive, is really, really beautiful. Even these new contour styluses. I've never had a product from hers malfunction the first time I've used it. That bothers me. And I think when you're just looking at the per gram cost, for the record, the Dior one, which is what, 5 grams, is 42. This is 40. So that would mean that if you were going to get the Dior or the Victoria Beckham formula, now again, we're not good at the math here, so let's just see. 5, come on, I know you're already doing this at home. 5 times 40. That would mean that this product, if it was filled with this formula, would be over $200. That's nuts. The Chanel one, 0.28 ounces, 6, I can't tell if it's 6 or 8 grams. This would be $250. And is the formula of these so much better than her OG or so much better than these other popular ones on the market? I don't know. Like I said, I love the new Lisa Eldridge ones, and they are a fraction of the cost. So it just depends. I don't know exactly who these are for. I don't know who is having that much trouble pinpointing their blush. The other thing is I thought, well, maybe this is convenient for like travel because you're not carrying a big chunky package around. But this was the original. So I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm missing it. I normally give Miss Vicky the benefit of the doubt. I love all of her products. I would wait to get these on sale. But they are beautiful. It's just $40 an ounce. So maybe this has at least showed you and made you think about these a little different. I don't know. And, you know, showed you a lot of other things from her range. So if you like this kind of content, then I really would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, follow along, shop my links. And, you know, if there's other people out there who would like this kind of content, then go ahead and share it with them because, you know, we can get more people to watch the little channel. So thank you, Miss Vicky B, for giving me a little freak out moment there for a second and for giving us beautiful, albeit expensive, new blush styluses. Bye, everybody.